Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is just a lovely morning. Looks like it's gonna be an amazing day and hopefully, well, it looks like the whole week's turning out to be a pretty nice week. So we plan on getting a lot of stuff done. In fact, this morning I have a local weather app on my phone. So it can alert me to storms and stuff like that. And I got a weather alert this morning, first time I'd seen it this way, kind of like when a storm is coming. And the weather alert said that it was going to be a perfect day. So that's a good thing because we have a lot of stuff going on. We've been, doing some brush clearing and getting gardens ready. We've about doubled the size of our garden, putting up a hoop house this week. Doing some fencing stuff, just all kinds of outdoor stuff, which is important because we're doing it all to become, well, more ready for being cut off. I've used the analogy, I've said it several times on this channel. When we look at our property, when we look at our homestead, we try to envision it. What would we do if we were an island, if we were cut off from the outside world, if we were, like our own little island? How would we set things up? What would we do so that we could survive being cut off from the rest of the world? And while that's obviously not a reality, it definitely helps us put things into perspective of what we can do and utilize our homestead and the resources that we have to make us as self-sufficient as possible, because there may come a day when we're much more cut off from the outside world. And that's kind of the question this morning is, are you ready for that? And are you ready for that to happen soon? Have you thought about that? What would happen if the plug was pulled and you're done? You're cut off, or you're pretty much on your own. Have you thought about that, and have you planned and prepared for that? Because you really should. The way things are happening, the way the world is spinning out of control, whether it's the economy or wars and potential world wars, lots of new diseases out there. I've talked a few times about the H5N1. I think the latest that I have seen now, just the last couple of days, are saying that there's now been six house cats in the United States that have been confirmed to contract H5N1 and died from it, along with several wild animals in the United States. So it's here, it's moving its way around, and eventually I would say humans are going to start getting it. There was also another H3N8 or something like that. First known human death of that. And then, of course, the CDC is issuing warnings here in the United States for Marburg. So there's that kind of stuff that's happening, even though just yesterday, finally, after 3 years, Joe Biden officially ended the pandemic by signing off that the emergency orders are all done. So, of course, we've got to have something else. There's other things going on. There's just the whole country, it's like the structure is just falling apart. More violence. People are just acting out in insane ways. And so my question is are you ready to pull the plug? Now, I'm not saying that you do it. I'm not saying that right now is the time to kind of pull the plug, shut the doors, close the ark doors, and say, okay, we're done. But are you ready for that? I find myself, and have talked to, many folks of the prepared mindset, and it's always this, well, I've got to do more. I'm just not quite ready. No matter how many years we've been working on it, I still I need to get this done. I need to have this much more supplies. I need to get this much more food. I need more ammo, more this, more that. And that's the case with all of us. But if you have had to shut the ark doors today, how ready are you? And that's really kind of something that you should be thinking about. And that may cause a little bit of nervousness and panic to kind of, well up in you, if the thought that if I had to shut it down today, close the ark doors, pull the plug and say, we're locked in, I'm just not ready for that. Well, I don't know that any of us would ever feel ready for that level of being cut off, but we should be thinking about that, because all of this stuff happening, I don't think we're too far away from the day that many of us, just make the decision that we're just kind of done. We're gonna hunker down, and we're gonna ride this one out the best that we can. And we have to start thinking along those lines, even though the reality of actually doing that may not be as clear cut as just closing the ark doors. We have to start kind of changing our thought process, that we're not just this, happy-go-lucky little homestead that, we run to the store every few days to get this or that, and that, we're participating in society. We really need to start thinking about what it would be like. What would we do? What is it going to take? What is the trigger that says we're done? Is it the, introduction of World War III with us and China going at it? Is it the very next pandemic? Is it a nuclear attack? Is it, the stock market crashing, or, something, the introduction of CBDCs? What is it that's going to push you to that point that says, all right, we're hunkering down? And what would you like to have in place realistically? And so that's what you need to be pushing for. You need to be focusing on the things that you need to do to get yourself in as comfortable of a place as you can. And I understand that we all have these ideas of what we need, but I'm talking about, how much food are you producing? What are your goals this year? Is your goals to start a garden for the first time and see what you can grow? Is your goals to, have enough food that you can kind of supplement your daily, grocery bill? Or is your goal to have enough food that you can put enough food away so that, with each annual garden, you can put away at least a year's worth of food? Because, of course, the fresh out of the garden only lasts just a few months. So is that your goal? To put back at least enough food every year so that you can, or every season of gardening, that you can eat off of that for at least 1 year? What are your goals, and what is it that you're planning on doing, and that you're doing right now, so that when you pull the plug, close those ark doors, it's on? These kind of things we need to be thinking about, folks, because unless we're all completely way off, unless something miraculous happens, unless they are really playing an amazing psyop on us that just to get us all worked up over nothing, I would say we're getting fairly close to the days that many of us are going to say, that's it, I'm done. I'm not participating in this game anymore. It's too dangerous for my children. It's too immoral. It's too dangerous for us to go out. It's just too much. Things are too expensive. The government in their tyranny is too intrusive. Whatever it is that causes you to say, I'm done. I'm closing the ark doors, and we're just going to ride this one out with my family and maybe my tribe. You need to be thinking about that and working out your plan. And this is the year, I'm telling you, folks, if you're not out there this year actively producing food, actively setting up systems on your property for water storage and water purification, if you're not actively setting up defense systems and perimeter, all the things that you need to do on your property, if you're not actively, working on your medical stuff, preservation of foods, you know, all that kind of stuff. If you're not actively working on that this year, then I don't know what to tell you. You're way behind the curve, and you may just end up having to, you know, sign yourself up for the FEMA camps, because the shifts that are happening and the changes that are happening as we speak all around us are quite significant. And I think that by the end of this year, things are going to be much different. They have been. I mean, look, as much as we want to try to normalize the world that we live in and try to say, well, it's not really that bad. Just look at the last 2 or 3 years, how much has changed each year. Dramatic changes, absolute dramatic changes. And those things will continue. The money systems are going to just continue to crumble. Cost of living are going to continue to go up. And by the end of this year, the currency that's in your pocket may not be worth very much at all. And so we need to start thinking about these things, not as in what I'm going to do in the future or what I hopes in my pipe dreams and all that kind of stuff. We need to start thinking of the now, right now. What are you doing today? What are your goals today to get done, to get you and your family more prepared? What are your goals this week to get you and your family more prepared? What are your goals by the end of this month? What are your goals of how much food to produce? What are your goals of expanding meat production, chickens, goats, sheep, pigs, cows, whatever? What are your goals this year? Because you need to be setting them, and you need to be actively, real-time, very aggressively working towards those goals. Because life as we know it has dramatically changed. And I don't think we're ever going to see that once what we call normal again. And it's just, you know, like I said yesterday or the day before, you're probably living in the best times right now that you're going to see for a long time. And so take advantage of that and push yourself hard. And get yourself, your property, your family, your conditions, and your own physical self in that condition to be ready to weather this storm. Because that tsunami, that big old perfect storm, it's just about to hit shores, folks. Keep getting your houses in order and preparing mentally, physically, and spiritually, because you're going to need it, because it's coming. Folks, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Folks, we are living in uncertain times where chaos seems to be around every corner. With wars and rumors of wars, economic collapse, pandemics, and more, we should strive daily to become more prepared mentally, physically, and of course spiritually. Please check out My Patriot Supply for all your preparedness needs. My Patriot Supply offers Ready Hour food, Alexa Pure water filters, and many other emergency and survival products. My Patriot Supply is an American-owned company, run by Americans producing American-made food. Emergency food from My Patriot Supply has a 25-plus year shelf life. It's simple to fix and delicious to eat. With My Patriot Supply, you can sleep at ease at night, knowing that you and your family have the emergency food to last through the coming times. To find out more, click on the link in the description below or go to preparewithtravis.com.